Welcome back to Madrid, Spain in Subway Builder. Today we are going to finish building the Cercanías commuter rail lines in the game. So let's get started. So here you can see the commuter rail map, and today we're going to build this branch that goes out to the east, which has 3 different lines that pass through and go to the west and wrap around, and this branch that continues on that main trunk and goes out to the west. So let's start building those lines. First, we're going to look at the route on Google Earth going east from Atocha. We are passing the stations Asamblea, El Pozo, and Vallecas, to Santa Eugenia, Vicálvaro, and we continue to the east to Coslada, San Fernando, and to the outlying towns of Torrejón de Ardoz, and a few more stations until we get to Alcalá de Henares, and I think it ends in the map in the game at Meco. So we're going to build that branch in the game now. So we're going to follow that path, but we're just building the east branch starting from Atocha, and we're going to add that to our network. So let's watch the time lapse. Okay, and I'm actually going to build the first station on the north end for this route, on the north end of Chamartín. So we're going to branch off to the northwest and just build this first station here at Ramón y Cajal. I have enough money now, so let's build this, and then I will go in and put the line C2, which goes all the way from the east end of this branch and ends at Chamartín. So this branch does not continue through the region, it stops at Chamartín. So for that reason, I'm putting it on the middle tracks, and this branch is quad tracked. And you can see we are passing the route through Atocha, and this is the first route that actually goes on the right half of the middle trunk tunnel and goes through Recoletos and Nuevos Ministerios and ends here at Chamartín. I just have to find a platform for it. There we go. So that's the full route of the C2, and that is in green, and I'm going to add some trains. Okay, and now I'm going to add the C7, which is red, and this doesn't go all the way to the east end. This one terminates at Alcalá de Henares, so I'm putting this on the outside tracks because it is going to continue past Chamartín all the way to the west. So I haven't built the west branch yet, so we will see that in the next part of the video. But let's just get this running on the east branch. And this one also goes up the main trunk, but it is on the outside tracks. And still continuing through on the outside tracks until it gets to Ramón y Cajal here. And I'm going to stop it there now, and then we can go through and build the rest of the tracks next. But let's just get this running. We have to get some more money. So I'm going to simulate it, and let's take a look at the western branch that we'll build next. So we already built this track that goes to Ramón y Cajal, and we're going to continue to those two stations and wrap around to Príncipe Pío. You can see this loop it makes. Also the C8 you can see follows the same but goes further west instead of turning back around. And also using the same tracks as the C10 that goes the other way from Chamartín to Príncipe Pío and continues on. So let's do a Google Earth tour. So here we are at Chamartín. The route continues to the northwest to Ramón y Cajal. It wraps around to Paco de Lucía in Pitis. And then it makes a long way through this giant park, like a nature preserve called El Pardo, and wraps around on the other side to Las Rosas, Majadahonda, and El Barrial. And now we are making our way back towards the city center, kind of winding through some towns here. This is Pozuelo and Aravaca. And we pass through another park called Casa de Campo. And we make our way into Príncipe Pío, which is one of the main train stations of Madrid. And the tracks go underground in a tunnel that stops here at Piramides and continues underground under these roads to Delicias, where it comes back above ground and wraps back into Atocha. So we are going to build that in the game now. See here at Príncipe Pío, I built two platforms because the C7 is going to end there, but the C10 is going to continue through. So I'm going to add the stations to the route, and there we have the rest of the C7. I'm going to add some trains. So that is the full C7 line. So now we finally have some trains going out to the west. I'm going to run the simulation a bit so we have the money to build the rest of the tracks. And here I'm going to get started on building the rest of the tracks that the C10 will use. And this crosses the area where the C5 tunnel is. So you can see it where we make our way, stopping at Méndez Álvaro here too, and working our way back to the Atocha station and now that is all connected up. So let's take a look at where the tracks go to the west for the C10 and C8. So you can see the map again here. The C8 continues to the west. It will branch off to and continue to Villalba de Guadarrama, which is where the C10 ends, but also branches off with C8A and C8B to Cerceria and Santa Maria. And let's take a look at Google Earth here. So we're continuing to the northwest through some towns. I think there's, in the game, I'm going to build a couple additional stations where I see a lot of demand, but this is Villalba, where the C10 ends, but the C8B branches out this way towards Cerceria, making stops along here, ending at Cerceria. And the C8A branch goes along this way, stopping at San Yago and Las Urreras, and making its way towards El Escorial, which is a big tourist destination because of this palace here at El Escorial Palace. And I think the game's map ends here at Zarzalejo, so I think that's where we'll end. Now let's continue building. This is one of those spots where I'm adding my own station, because you can see that giant employment demand bubble. I'm not sure if it's like a hospital or a school or something, and I'm not sure if that's 100% realistic. But you can see the demand out here too. There's a lot of residential demand, some pretty dense towns out this way. You can see on the demand map here the towns all surrounding the area. So let's build the tracks, and I'm gonna set up the route now. So this one is light green. This is the C10, which makes its way from Chamartín through the center tracks of this quad track and wraps its way around those new stations we built and goes along the same tracks as the C7 through Príncipe Pío and all the way out here where it ends at Villalba. So I'm going to add some trains. Quite expensive. I'm going to run the simulation to get a bit more money. But you can see we're almost at the full map now. We just have to finish the C8. Okay, now I'm going to build the rest of the C8, the A and B branches that we saw in Google Earth. And here's the Escorial station. And we're gonna end this one here at Zarzalejo. Or actually, I think I didn't even count it because it had such low demand. And this is the B branch that goes up to Cerceria. And I think the full demand, since I think that's not showing accurately the demand, because I think the town is quite a bit bigger than it's showing on the map here, but this is pretty far away at the edge of the region, so that's okay. I've got the tracks built, so let's put in the route. This is the C8A, which passes through Chamartín, as you can see here, and I'm using the outside tracks since it is one of the routes that passes through. So we will continue all the way to the end of the map on the east branch. And I think our map ends at Meco. The actual route continues a couple stations further to Guadalajara, but that's where the game's map ends. So this is the C8A. Gotta add some trains, and now we will build the C8B, which follows the exact same route, except it branches off to Cercanías on the northwest end. And with this, I think we officially end building the Cercanías system. So we have all of the lines modeled. So we're going to run the simulation once we get this built, and we can take a look at how the system is working. Just gotta add some trains, and I'll probably need to add more once I get more money. As you can see, we're having capacity issues. But this is the Cercanías system. You can see it's very profitable, what we have going so far. I'm gonna run the simulation so we can get the final data numbers for ridership and everything. And you can see now with all of the Cercanías lines, we have about 13.5% of the region using transit, and that's 440,000 people. So obviously there's still a lot of people left that aren't covered with our system, but you can see the highest ridership is C5, but the C4 and A and C4B together are about the same at 280,000 approximately. And the C8, the C3, C10, C7, C8, no, Metro Line 8, C1, and C2 in that order. And taking a look at the stations, we have Atocha as the busiest station, and Nuevos Ministerios as second, Chamartín third, and Sol and the airport as fourth and fifth. And let's take a look. Some of these industrial zone stations that I added are really getting high ridership too, so that's interesting to see. And let's take a look at the map, because you can see on the demand which areas are still not covered, which is a lot of the central city area, which would be more covered by the metro and the bus systems here. And there's a couple towns you can see on the outskirts that are not covered, but yeah, you can see those dense clusters of the central city of Madrid that aren't served by the Cercanías. And I have bad news, but the map is not loading the buildings, and I'm thinking it's because the game recently got updated. If you're not aware, the game is now available on Steam. But see, if I zoom in, the buildings won't load, and it said there was an error loading the buildings. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I wanted to build a couple metro lines, but it's not going to look very interesting if the map doesn't load correctly. You can see I started working on the Metro Line 6, but if anybody knows what this issue is, I don't know if it's because of the map is not, this map is a mod, so it's not in the base game, and the game just launched on Steam, and there was quite a bit of updates to the game, so I'm wondering if anybody knows the issue or anything about it, please let me know. Otherwise, that's it for now. I'm not sure if I will continue on Madrid or start with a different map. But thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll be seeing some new cities soon. Thanks. Bye.